Today I'm going to be reviewing and testing out this Mother's NuLens headlight renewal kit that I recently purchased online. Now, as you can see, my headlights on here are pretty rough on both sides. I'm going to clean one and then clean the other so that way you can see how well this is going to work. Now, with this one specifically, you don't have to tape off the paint. You can if you want to. It's really going to depend on the age of your vehicle. So my vehicle is older, so I'm not too terribly worried if I get a little bit on the paint. The paint kind of discolors as I've already got that going on anyway. The main reason I'm doing this is just so I can see at night better through these headlights. So as you can see, the prep is quite literally just to attach it to a drill. It does come with the heads that you're going to use on a drill. They do recommend a cordless one, of course. You're just going to quite literally polish going back and forth over and over on the lens. Now, if you are a little bit you're not the don't have the steadiest hand in the world, taping off around the lens would probably be a good idea. And then you're going to shine it with the microfiber towel once you get through that. So let's go ahead and open this up. Let me show you what's inside and then we'll test it out. Now, I do want to mention this is going to come with the instructions and everything you need as well if your headlights are damaged even more. They do recommend doing it this way first and then doing it this way if that doesn't work. I also did want to mention it's not going to come with microfiber claws, so you will need to make sure you have those. So we got some on the top and we're going to go ahead and test it. Now it's not perfect yet. I do have a spot here where it's really bad and I'm not sure if that's on the outside or on the inside, truthfully. But you can see that versus this is what it was before. So it definitely is working. I might have to go ahead and use that extreme one just because I don't know if it's getting this off. I'm going to put some more polishing on there and see if I can just do it with just this versus having to get out the extreme one. Essentially, it's going to give you like sandpaper and that sort of thing on the head. So then at that point, you are going to need to tape off the paint, that sort of deal. But I'm going to go ahead and try it repeatedly with this one. Put more polish on there, see if I can get, especially this spot like right here and right through here off. So I used the polishing pad several more times, and as you can see, it did get a lot of it off. I've only got like this spot here, here, and then over here on the side. So that's where I'm going to end up having to use that severe one. But compare that to that one, the one that I haven't touched yet, and you can see that it's already made a massive difference in the amount of light that comes out. So even if you don't feel comfortable using the sandpaper and those sorts of things that it comes with, you could still easily just do this and get a lot off of your headlights to be able to see a lot better at night. But I'm going to go ahead and go through that extreme process now. So I got it all taped off. I've got the 800 grit sandpaper on here, and then they do recommend that you get some water because you're going to want to spray it and keep it wet while you're going through the sanding process. Now there are multiple steps to this, so you're going to start with the 800, then you're going to go with the 1500, then you're going to go with the 3000, essentially getting finer and finer and finer as you go along. So ideally, if you can avoid doing this and just do it with the polishing pad, that'll be a lot better. But since I've got so many spots on here that are really bad, I'm going to be trying this out here first. So let's go ahead and go through that. Now, as you can kind of see, it is going to be pretty hazy after running that 800 grit over it. Don't be afraid, that is normal. You're then going to want to change it out from the 800 to the 1500. You can see it is definitely getting better. After you do the 1500, you're then going to want to dry off the surface. So grab one of your microfiber towels, dry it off, and then you're going to use 3000 grit sandpaper next. Now, it does recommend if there's any spots that are extra hazy after using this 3000 grit that you use a little bit more. So right here where it was rough, originally the worst part is going to be a little bit hazier than the rest. So before I polish it, I'm going to spend some extra time using this on it. Then the last step, you're going to be going through and using this polisher again with the polish on top. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm far from an expert when it comes to doing this, but I just want to kind of show you, even though I'm not an expert and I've never done this before, you can see it got the majority of that stuff off. Now, I should have probably gone deeper here along this side, and I definitely should have done more sanding on this side. You can see that it still got a bit of the stuff on this side and it's not 100% even, and that's on me. You're supposed to make sure it's even in between each coat, and obviously I didn't make sure that this part here, so I should have sanded longer here and then around on this side. But even as is, look at what that looks like now in comparison to the before. It is night and day. So quite literally at night, I am now looking forward to being able to see how bright this is versus how it was before. But it is going to be a process. So just something you'll want to keep in mind. The other thing is you'll want to make sure to put a lot of tape. You can see here, I kind of scuffed through the tape a little bit when I was using the 3000 grit, and I just wasn't careful enough. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off just to see if it did end up damaging the tape or the paint, I mean. And No, not noticeable on my vehicle. And again, my vehicle's older, which is why I'm going through this process anyway. So not the end of the world, of course. And then of course I will want to make sure I wash it off of the paint down here. But overall, it definitely does work amazingly. Now I just have to go through the process of doing it on the other side.